Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 22 of Season 5 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Bank of America Challenge here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Roval edition. Yes, we are actually going to the famed Charlotte Roval for the first time in this series history, and this should be an interesting race. Though, we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. But let's actually take a look at the point standings as we are getting closer and closer to this season's chase for the championship. So, after last week at Inferno Pool, Joshua Collard's points lead actually extended a little bit, or shrunk a little bit, I can't remember, but he leads by 17 points over Carson Gum. Third is Dylan Jacobs. Fourth is our winner from last week, James McLeod. Fifth, Benjamin Miles. Sixth is Paul Minix. Seventh, Emmanuel Hardnett. Eighth, Kyle Matthews. Ninth, Jake Rogers. 10th, Sean Galligan. So as far as who were the big winners and losers in the points after last week, the big winner was Kyle Matthews, who moved up from 12th to 8th in the championship standings. And we had two big losers, Dougie Shears and Dylan Poteet, who both fell 5 spots respectively from 7th and 11th in points. Hey, 7-11. Ha ha ha. Anyways, so let's actually take a look at the starting lineup for the race today. Starting in the last row is Paul Minnick and Sean Galligan. Top 10, Joshua Collard, the points leader, gets his first pole this season. Starting next to him is Charles Sanford. Row 2 is Joshua Sekuli, James Shelley. Row 4, row 3, Ryan Butcher, Jake Rogers. Row 4, Cody Lamas, Jessica Shelton. And then row 5, Matt McIntyre and Benjamin Miles. But let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Bank of America Challenge at the Charlotte Roval.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers on the racetrack for their half a pace lap around here. Now this race is going to be interesting because there's going to be a couple of spots on the racetrack where we could see a major accident take place, such as right here on the backstretch as they come through the bus stop chicane. That could really be troublesome for some drivers. Because of that tire wall that jets out, who knows what could happen if drivers aren't careful when going through there. But also another spot where there could be some craziness is when we come here to the front stretch and enter the front stretch chicane right here. But pace car's in pit road, so you know what time it is, don't you? It's time to boogity 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 go racing! So Charles Sanford got to lead the first lap with, which I'm kind of shocked that the NNSCRA officials haven't done anything about that, because he was not the pole sitter for that race, and he beat Joshua Collard to the line and never gave the spot back. So I'm wondering what's going on with the officials right now, why they haven't done anything about that. But I guess because of that, Charles Sanford has the race lead. Joshua Collard slips back to second, and he's got recent winner, and Collard gets the wall right there. That's going to be a trouble spot for a lot of drivers, is that wall right there in that corner. And both of the front runners, Sanford and Collard, have hit that wall, and that actually helped for Sanford to start pulling away, as now the field is pretty much spread out. And as you saw just a few moments ago, there was a big wreck that took place, and it took out a lot of key contenders. And there they go again. Benjamin Miles is wrecked. Wow, Cullen Francis did a great job of missing it. And there they go again. DJ Curtis has crashed. Yeah, like I said, that backstretch chicane is going to be very troublesome for some drivers. And now Charles Sanford leads by less than a second over Joshua Collard, but look at the damage on the sides of the cars for some of these people. As you can tell, looking around the field and seeing all the casualties, and I see Zachary Fitzwater is on pit road now. So yeah, this could end up being a one-time only race that we're going to here at the Roval, because look at everything that has transpired thus far here today. Whoa, huge wheel hop for a lot of drivers right there. As I continue, whoa, Baskinger with the crazy wheel hop. Trying to keep my eyes out for any potential crashes. And there goes Paul Minnick, who was 6th in the championship standings. He ends up victim of that chicane. As we get back up here at the front, Sanford still leads, but doesn't have a huge lead just yet. Collard's still lurking there, and he's actually, it looks like he's reeling in the 03 of Sanford. Joshua Collard has been a man on a mission, but then he gets the wall right there, and that's going to cost him some speed. But Patrick Smith, who is damaged, you got to wonder if he's going to be a hazard to Charles Sanford, or is Sanford going to go by him? And it looks like he's going to go by him. As we come back to the chicane again, let's see how things play out this time. Charles Sanford got the wall! He actually got it! Sanford damaged, and that just took him out of the race pretty much. Joshua Collard now has the points lead, or not the points lead, the race lead, as Charles Sanford overdrove that chicane and got the wall. Man, that's a tough break for Sanford. He was looking to have a feel-good win today, but that ain't going to happen now, as he just got that backstretch chicane and into the wall. But Joshua Collard, who was the pole sitter, now has the race lead and gets that valuable extra bonus point. And he right now leads by 1.1 seconds over the Pensacola Roval winner, James Shelley. And now both Shelley and Jake Rogers, Joshua Sekuli also got the wall right there. So now the field is really starting, as I apologize for that mic movement. The big chunk of the field is pretty much done for today, and the bottom 5 is DJ Curtis, Zachary Fitzwater, Anthony McCrory, Rafael LeDuc again, and James McLeod, who just won last week. Oh, Jake Rogers! Oh, and there goes Sekuli. Oh, everybody be careful. 2 of the top 10 runners just got involved. As we are coming back here again, I'm trying to stay looking out for some of these guys to make sure nothing else happens. But yeah, Rogers and Sekuli were top 10 contenders, and now they're basically done for today. Man, this race is taking out so many people. Thankfully, like I just pointed out, this is probably going to be the only time we're going to be coming to this track. Collard gets the wall right there. That's a little bit of hope for Shelley to try and gain momentum on the 43. Shelley trying to go for his second of 3, or not second of 3, but second win in the last 3 races. Because like I said, he won the Pensacola Roval. He ran fairly strong at Inferno Pool last week. And he's looking to try to go for another Roval win. Stay looking out for any potential crashes that could happen on this chicane. Whoa, Dollarton was close. So too was Carson Gum. And Galligan. Whoa, look at that move by James Qualls, but he barely touched it. I don't know if that's going to cause him to get out of the race or not. But yeah, he did barely touch and then get the outside wall. Let's see if he has to come in the pit road. No, he's going to stay out, but ended up losing that spot to Ethan Hoffman. But that would have been an amazing pass if he didn't touch that wall. Collard again gets that wall. So too does Shelley. And then way back here in third is Cody Lamas, and he gets that wall. Man, this wall is a hazard for a lot of drivers trying to maintain momentum. Let's actually see who's got the fastest lap so far in this race, and it's Jake Baskinger at a 76.852. Shelley barely scraped that wall. So too does Lamas. Still trying to keep my eyes peeled for anything that could happen right here. Oh man, this could be dangerous. Oh, I thought there was going to be a definite crash. But I guess not. Oh, there they go! Hartnett and Zorleen involved. Hoffman going to stay up high. And Qualls gets it this time. And that could take Qualls out of the race. But since we're closing in to the end of this race, let's actually take a look and see how the field looks after all this chaos here today at the Roval. Joshua Collard is your race leader. Second is James Shelley. Third, Cody Lamas. Fourth, Jessica Shelton. Fifth, Ryan Butcher. Sixth is Matt McIntyre. Seventh, Dylan Thoreau. Eighth, Jake Baskinger. Ninth, Preston Plord. 10th, Dougie Shears. 11th, Chris Dollarton. 12th is under battle, but it's right now Carson Gum. 13th is Alex Strayton. 14th, Dylan Young. 15th is Seth Cole. 16th, Trent Dunham. 17th, Sean Galligan. 18th, Dylan Jacobs. 19th, Kyle Matthews. 20th, Jay Jefferson. As I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for this, because this could be bad. Jefferson gets it and takes out Patrick Smith, and how did Kyle Matthews avoid? That is impressive. How he managed to avoid all that. So that was a look at the top 20 in the field as a result of everything taking place. But yeah, Jefferson and Smith are both pretty much out. And look at the number of drivers who are now out of this race. Tim Fiegel, who I didn't even know was involved in anything. Same with Cullen Francis. But yeah, there you see Patrick Smith has taken his car over the wall. And even look at some drivers like Poteet and Colin Phillips who have no hoods and are still going on the racetrack. Big wheel hop right there from hitting the rumble strip right there on the front stretch chicane. As it's now less than 4 laps to go here in the Bank of America Challenge. The only time we're running this track unless we somehow get a better version of this in the future. But yeah, so far the best Roval race, so to speak, has been Pensacola. And we got another Roval race coming in the chase, and that's the Denver Roval, which should be interesting to say the very least. Collard doesn't touch that wall for once, but Shelley does. What about Llamas? Barely. And actually, Llamas is about to get perhaps a challenge by the end of this race, because look at Jessica Shelton. She's been running down the 48 of Cody Llamas fairly quickly, and she's trying to go for a 3rd place run, and she's got momentum right now. But let's see what happens here on this chicane. They both get through there pretty well. Making sure no other crashes happen back here. There's Trent Dunham, who's back here in 16th. This has been one of his better races so far, and there's quite a few that I don't see anymore. Oh, we got more casualties. Dylan Jacobs is out. Kyle Matthews is out, and Sean Galligan is out. So we're down to 21 cars on the racetrack. And it's all sorts of bonkers right now. Shelley gets the wall again. As Joshua Collard, all he's pretty much got to do is just avoid getting into the chicane walls and just stay on the racetrack, and he will end up with his first win this season. Let's see Shelley get through here. And then Llamas, he gets through there fairly well. It's like if you're by yourself, you're more than likely to be okay running here. Huge wheel hop for Drayton right there. Man, so many cars damaged, it's unreal. I don't even think there's even one clean race car out there on the racetrack, I don't think. Like, everybody's got either right side damage from getting into the outside, from getting into the walls in these corners, or buckles from barely getting into other cars after they hit the backstretch chicane wall. Either way you go about it, no clean cars in this race. As we got about a lap and a half to go here in the Bank of America Challenge, and we're getting ready to be approaching the white flag as a battle for 5th might ensue, although Matt McIntyre barely got that wall, and now the white flag is finally displayed for Joshua Collard. All he's got to do is just keep his car clean, and he's home free. Although he did lose quite a lot of time to James Shelley. Shelley's actually been gaining on the 43, but I don't think it's going to be enough unless Collard, by some miracle, for Shelley's sake, gets into that backstretch chicane wall, and then by some miracle managed to get around him. Yeah, let's take a look at the spectator camera, because we haven't seen this shot of the race yet, and we'll see from a fan's perspective what everything looks like. As we're coming through the backstretch, let's see if Collard makes it through this chicane fairly well. And he does. That's pretty much going to seal the deal. The deal has been sealed as we're coming through the front stretch. Checkered flag getting ready to wave. Finally, after dominating consistency, Joshua Collard finally gets his first win of the season. He wins the Bank of America Challenge at the Charlotte Roval. After pretty much one of the most disastrous races in the history of the Marvel Studios Cup Series, Joshua Collard finally gets his first win of the season after pretty much being the most consistent driver all season long. Like I said, he finally gets a big win as we get closer and closer to this season's chase. But let's look at the rest of the results as they stand currently. James Shelley comes through with a second place run. So 3 straight races, 3 straight road courses, Shelley gets a top 10 finish. So that's very, very huge for that 71 team into trying to get into the top 10 in points. Cody Lamas, whose main goal at this point is to try to finish top 30 in points, he came out strong with a third place run. Jessica Sheldon, much needed strong finish in 4th. And then the highest finishing rookie, Ryan Butcher, finishing in 5th. And then his teammate, Dylan Thoreau, finishes in 6th. Jake Baskinger with a great run in 7th. Dougie Shears, much needed performance in the 8th spot. Preston Plord finishing out in 9th, and then Matt McIntyre rounding out the top 10. And then there's the rest of your top 20. And then 1 car a lap down, Colin Phillips, and then everybody else was out of the race after all the chaos. And like I said, the bottom 5 were DJ Curtis, Zachary Fitzwater, Anthony McCreary, Raphael Leduc, and James McLeod. So that does it for our coverage here today at the Charlotte Roval. We are never coming back to this place again unless we somehow get an updated version where they don't wreck as much. But next week we head back to Michigan, which should be interesting for some drivers to get out of the road course rut. But here are your final results, rookie points and regular points heading into the Charlotte, or not the Charlotte Roval, the Michigan race. This is Levi McIntyre signing off.